Let's start with the last question. We have, like I believe I have given few parts of this question as homework. First part of it was a ball of some mass. Now, what was the mass? 50 gram. Mass of the ball was 50 gram. Is dropped from a height of 20 meter, right? After collision, it bounces back to a height of 7.2 meter. The first part was find velocity, the speed with which it strikes the ground. First part was speed with which it strikes the ground, with which it strikes the ground. So our answer was 20 meter per second acting downwards, moving downwards. Second part was speed with which it bounces back. Answer was 12 meter per second. Right now, this is what we have done. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, third was momentum before collision and after collision. Momentum before collision and after collision. So it is momentum before collision. Let us take downward direction as negative. So what is momentum before collision? वो जब फ्लोर से कोलाइड होने वाला उसके जस्ट पहले उसका मोमेंटम कितना था?
-1000 grams meter per second.
-1000 gram meter per second. Convert into kgs. So 20 mass is 50
-1
by
kg meter.
correct 1000 into 20. So -1 kg meter per second. Momentum after collision. What is momentum after collision?
0.6 kg meter.
0.6. It is upward. Earlier it is downwards. Now it is upwards. So upwards, mass is 50 by 1000 into speed. Velocity is 12. So 0.6 kg meter per second. Right. So momentum after collision is 0.6 kg meter per second. Before it was -1 kg meter per second. Right. Now, next question was impulse imparted by the floor to the ball. So impulse imparted to the ball. Next question was impulse imparted to the ball. कितना impulse मिला ball को? What is the impulse gained by the ball? Say, do you remember what was impulse? Hello. What was impulse? सब भूल गए. हेलो. impulse कितना है? impulse था क्या? किसी को याद है? Anyone remembers what was impulse? Impulse was force into time or change in momentum. Impulse was force into time of impact or can also be written as change in momentum. Right. So impulse is what? Force into time or change in momentum. Right? So what is change in momentum of the ball? अब तो बताओ, अब तो सब लिख दिया मैंने. You know initial momentum, you know final momentum. Now I'm asking what is change in
Minus
momentum?
0.4 kg.
No. Change निकालना है. Change means final minus initial. Unless until कोई दूसरा logic लग रहा हो, change means final value minus initial value. That's it. Change strictly means final value minus initial value. No one responding. This is such an easy question. See, you have to subtract final value. Final momentum minus initial momentum. After collision, it is 0.6 minus. Before collision, it is -1. So answer is 1.6 kg meter per second. Sign का ध्यान रखो प्रिशा. So
I did not
final value.
understood how minus 50 upon 1000.
We have to convert it into kg, na? SI units. This is 50 gram, right? You need to convert it into kgs. So 50 upon 1000. Now this is mass in kg and this is velocity in meter per second. So answer is this into this 1000 by 1000 minus 1 kg meter per second. Still not clear? See, what is momentum? Momentum is mass into velocity, right?
Yes, sir.
Momentum is mass into velocity. So mass is 50 gram. Convert into kgs, 50 by 1000. So this is mass in kilogram into velocity. Velocity before collision was 20 meter per second. That's the velocity with which it hits the ground. And direction is downwards. Direction is downwards. So minus 50 by 1000 into 20. So 1000 by 1000 cancel, minus 1 kg meter per second. So momentum before collision is minus 1 kg meter per second. Momentum after collision. What is momentum after collision? Again, mass is 50 by 1000 kg. Velocity after collision was 12. This is the velocity with which it bounces back. The ball bounces back with 12 meter per second. So 600 by 1000 is 0.6 kg meter per second. Right?
Yes, sir.
So I asked impulse. Impulse is change in momentum. Impulse is change in momentum. Right? So what is change in momentum? Final momentum minus initial momentum. Final momentum is 0.6 minus -1. So minus minus plus 1. So 0.6 plus 1. That is 1.6 kg meter per second. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's your answer. Now, next I have asked, time of impact is 0.04 seconds, I suppose I have given. Time of impact was given. Time of impact is 0.04 seconds. Find the force acting on the ball, for average force applied by floor on the ball. So what is the average force which the floor applies on the ball? फ्लोर जिस पे बॉल गिरता है, फ्लोर ने बॉल के ऊपर फोर्स लगाया. फोर्स, फ्लोर मस्ट हैव अप्लाइड अ फोर्स ऑन द बॉल, ड्यू टू विच मोमेंटम ऑफ द बॉल changes by 1.6 kg meter per second. Question is, what is the total, what is the average force applied by the floor on the ball? न्यूटन सेकेंड लॉ ऑफ मोशन रिकॉल करो, रिवाइज करो. रिवाइज नहीं कर रहे, इट्स इजी क्वेश्चन.
Sir,
वी डन
2
क्वेश्चन.
Newton.
सॉरी,
Sir, 2 Newton.
नो.
-2 Newton.
हम्म। टू तो कहीं से आ ही नहीं रहा बेटा, कहाँ से ला रहे हो टू?
320 Newton.
320 is also wrong. 40 Newton is correct answer. I don't know from where you're getting these values. See, Newton's law of motion says force acting on any object is change in momentum of the object upon time of impact. We have already measured change in momentum, that is impulse. It's 1.6 upon time. They were in contact for 0.04 second. ये जो momentum change हुआ है इतनी देर में हुआ है, right? So 1.6 into 0.04. So this is 160 upon 4. That is 40 Newton. So force applied by floor on the ball is 40 Newton, average force. Is it clear? Revise regularly. हाँ, जब तक पूरी तरह से दिमाग में नहीं बैठ जाता, revise it. Videos are already there, books are already there. You have many ways to revise. Please revise regularly. Okay? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Revise करो because P2 minus P1 upon T. Change in momentum upon time t. Change in momentum already measured. Time of impact already given. Substitute किया. 160 by 4, that is 40 Newton. Now, next question was force which ball exerts on floor. Ball कितना force लगाएगा floor के ऊपर? Ball will exert what force on the floor?
500 Newton.
No. Force which floor exerts on the ball is 40 Newton. What force does the ball exerts on the floor? Ball floor के ऊपर कितना force लगाएगा? 40 Newton. Why? Why 40 Newton? चलो आंसर बता दिया मैंने, अब ये तो बताओ भाई.
It's third law of motion.
न्यूटन्स थर्ड लॉ ऑफ मोशन, एक्शन रिएक्शन है ना. फ्लोर ने बॉल पे लगाया, बॉल ने फ्लोर पे लगाया, दैट्स इट. बोथ आर सेम. So force which the ball exerts on the floor is same as the force which the floor exerts on the ball. So answer is 40 Newton. That's it. All right. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir, so how will the ball bounce back?
This is an interesting question. Again, we have discussed a question on the same topic. Ki doubt is ball exerts the force, floor exerts the force of 40 Newton on the ball and ball exerts the force of 40 Newton on the floor. So what is net force acting on the ball?
Zero.
Zero. एक बार फिर वही confusion सामने आया. तो net force acting on the ball is zero. So how does the momentum of ball changes? ये momentum change कैसे हुआ? Why momentum of ball changes? Question is why momentum of ball changes? ये क्यों होता है? See, if net force acting on the ball is zero, then Why does the momentum of ball changes? Ball का momentum change क्यों होता है? Any answer? We have discussed this question once.
Sir, it's due to the
Due to?
sir, it's due to the mass of the ball.
No. क्या net force लग रहा है ball पे? What is net force acting on the ball?
So gravitational force.
No.
Sir
Forget about
drag.
gravitation.
Sir drag force.
Forget about drag force. What I'm saying is, while the two objects, this floor and the ball, undergo collision, this exerts force on it and this exerts force on it. I had claimed that both the forces are 40 Newton. So ball पे force 40 Newton लग रहा है और floor उस पे 40 Newton लगा है. Right? The question is, what is net force acting on it? Is it zero? So let me tell you again, answer is not zero.
So
See, during collision, वहां पर 240 आपको दिख रहा है? Do you see 240 newtons drawn here? Actually, one of them is acting on the ball, other is acting on the floor. Ball experiences 40 Newton for 0.04 seconds by floor. Prisha,
Yes.
is this your doubt? See, in last to last lecture, I have asked a question, a similar question. If Newton's laws of motion is correct, third law is correct, so if A exerts force on B, then B also exerts force on A. A exerts force of 40 Newton and B exerts force of 40 Newton. So net force acting is zero. Then why does momentum of A changes? भाई ये तो ट्रिक किया मैंने आपको एरो डायग्राम बना के गलत. ये 40 न्यूटन इस पे नहीं लग रहा है. This 40 Newton is acting on the second wall. This is action and this is reaction. Action acts on A and reaction acts on the other body B. Action और reaction दोनों same body पे नहीं लगते. They act on the different objects. उनमें से एक force एक ही object पे लगता है. So you again got tricked because of this arrow diagram. This is a confusing arrow diagram. See, इनमें से एक force जो है वो ball पे लग रहा है, दूसरा force जो है वो floor पे लग रहा है. तो ball पे तो एक ही force लगा ना.
yes, sir.
The ball experiences only one force. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
तो
Yes,
बॉल
sir.
पे एक फोर्स लगा तो बॉल एक्सपीरियंसेस नेट फोर्स ऑफ 40 न्यूटन ड्यू टू दैट फोर्स which was of 40 newton and acted for a small interval of time 0.04 seconds. Due to that force which is acting for 0.04 seconds, momentum of ball changes 40 into 0.04, that is 1.6 kg meter per second. So momentum of the ball changes by this value, 1.6 kg meter per second. Okay. So this was, now is it clear? Now it's clear, na?
Yes.
Prisha? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, one more question on graph. Suppose there's a velocity time graph of a particle, velocity time graph. It's a common question actually. This is 10 meter per second. In 2 seconds, it accelerates from 0 to 10 meter per second and head to 0. Next 2 seconds. So mass of the object is 2 kg. An object of mass 2 kg, is subjected to variable force. Due to which its velocity changes as shown in the graph. No. Okay. Well, find average force acting on the object and first and 0 to 2 से find force acting on the object in 0 to 2 seconds. 0 से 2 seconds पे ऑब्जेक्ट पे जो फोर्स लग रहा है वो निकालना. Find force acting on the object in 0 to 2 seconds. कैसे निकालेंगे? Force, Newton's second law of motion say what is force? Force is hello. What is force?
The force is MA.
M into A. What is mass?
Sir, 2 kg.
2 kg. Can you
The force will be 10 Newton.
Force is 10 Newton, correct answer. The question is, how do we measure force? How do we calculate force? So force is mass into acceleration, true. Mass is what? Mass is 2 kg, correct. What is acceleration? How to get acceleration? Acceleration is a tricky thing. So for that, we have to use velocity time graph. So how do we use velocity time graph? See, in first 2 seconds, what is change in velocity? 0 set 10. The acceleration is final velocity minus initial velocity from 10. So 0 to 10, the velocity changes from 0 to 10 in 2 seconds. The answer is 5 meter per second square. So force is m into a, so 2 into 5, that is 10 Newton. Good.